If you've been on my channel before, you most likely know that I love Animaniacs. I've already done top 10s for Yakko, Wakko, and Dot from the 90s series, but now...
We are back, baby!
The Warner siblings have rebooted with 3 seasons on Hulu full of jokes for all ages, fun music, and the same charm that was in the original series. And after several requests, it's about time that I cover my top 10 favorite moments from the Animaniacs 2020 series, which not only includes the Warner segments, but some Pinky and the Brain moments as well, since I thought those episodes were more interesting than in the 90s series. Before I start though, please remember that this is only my opinion. You're welcome to comment some of your favorite moments in the comments. With that out of the way, let's get started. Number 10. I laughed pretty hard when I first saw Pinky and the Brain do a parody of Fresh Prince of BelAir. Now, I haven't seen all of that show, but I could understand quite a bit of the references in this parody, including who played what character and the throwing Jazzy Jeff out of the house bit. I must say that watching this parody has brought back good memories of watching Fresh Prince, and I'm sure it would for others too. Number 9. I was not a fan of the Manny Man spreader sketch since it was obviously all one big adult joke. However, the climax of the sketch had one thing that made me smile, and that was Yakko in a Scottish accent and outfit.
Dying in your beds. Many years from now, they may take our lives, but they'll never take our lives!
I have a friend in Scotland who loves Animaniacs, and he enjoyed this bit a lot when we were watching it together. That bit just always reminds me of my friend. Number 8. Groundmouse Day and Groundmouse Day Again was a well-written out story in my opinion. In these Pinky and the Brain sketches, Brain goes on his usual plot to take over the world by manipulating the holiday Woodchuck Day to his liking so that people can buy smart snowboards which will carve the snow slopes to cause a massive avalanche to trap the leaders of the G20 summit for that year and give Brain geopolitical power. However, that plan does not prevent a time loop of the same day happening over and over again. No less than 200 times in fact, according to Brain.
I've taken over the world no less than 200 times now.
He tried many ways to try and break the time loop. I'm gonna leave it to you to watch the episode to find out how the time loop is broken. But the concept for this sketch was unique and the delivery was so well done. I loved it. Number 7. In Yakko Amako, a ripoff of the Merry Melodies Looney Tunes short Duck Amuck, Yakko mentions my favorite video game, which really made my eyes beam when I first saw the bit.
And that hole in the sky gag was straight out of Portal 2, which was a straight-up ripoff of Portal 1, which took it from Sliders, which borrowed from Time Bandits, which stole it from...
It makes me really wonder what it would be like if the Warners interacted with GLaDOS. If someone makes an animation of that, remind me to pin a link to the animation in the comments of this video. Number 6. Talladega Mice was another unique Pinky and the Brain sketch, and I felt inspired by it. The main reason being is that this was an episode where Brain was being taught to be more sensitive to Pinky's needs. In the episode, Brain wants to go to school to mass produce the miniature cars at the science lab to rob Fort Knox of his gold reserves. However, driving the car proves difficult as Pinky and the Brain have to navigate through a maze while staying calm. Pinky drives while the Brain navigates, but when the Brain yells at Pinky, it stresses Pinky out, causing the car to malfunction. So to calm Pinky down, Brain performs a variety of actions requested by Pinky, such as impressions, a baby voice, and a tickle fight. And that helps Pinky navigate the car through different kinds of roads. As someone that also needs people to be sensitive of my needs, I found joy in watching this episode as it shows the benefits of being sensitive to others. Number 5. The Cutening was such a creative Warner sketch. In the episode, Dot was tired of getting nothing but ugliness and disgust in her day, so she ate a cute cupcake and transformed into the most kawaii form we've ever seen her in. She realizes she has superpowers to cutify everything, so she uses them to transform the entire world into a super cute environment. However, the Warners can only take in so much cuteness before they go completely insane. So they do something completely gross and disgusting to transform things back to normal. The art style for the cutified world is so colorful and neat, and Dot's Cutening song is fun to sing along with. I admit, sometimes I get tired of things being miserable, disgusting, and boring, so I wish I had a superpower to make evil things more positive and cuter. I don't want to change everything, but I want to change enough to make the world a happier place. Number 4. I remember back when everyone was so hyped to see the Warner Games episode, especially because we get a look at what the rebooted Warner siblings look like in 3D. In the episode, the Warners play a game that's an obvious parody to Smash Bros. For 6 months straight, and discover an Easter egg to enter the game. The in-game characters, however, are upset because they never got a break from beating each other up for 6 months straight. Ralph the Guard takes the controller and gets the Warners to take beatings like the other characters did. This is when the Warners realize they're trapped and they want to get out of the game. The only way to get back to the real world is to fight the gold versions of themselves and win to get keys to the real world. Now, I'm not a huge fan of Smash Brothers, but seeing the 3D Warners was so exciting to me. They have the same charm and look just as good as their 2D selves. I certainly hope Nintendo doesn't sue them for this parody, because it was actually really good. Definitely the best, if not one of the best episodes in the whole of Animaniacs. Number 3. In Fear and Laughter in Burbank, a clown named Nickelwise comes out of the sewer to meet Yakko, Wakko, and Dot. Now, if you remember, in the original series, Wakko was afraid of clowns. However, in this reboot, I think Wakko said it best when facing his fear of the clown.
But this guy's a cutie.
Fear causes Nickelwise to eat souls of the people that are scared, and the Warners definitely save themselves in scary moments. This is a great episode on facing your fear and not letting fear get the best of you. Number 2. I personally hated the idea of the Bun Control sketch, as it's all a crude joke that isn't even funny to me, but the anime segment was absolutely awesome. I wish there were more segments like this one. Studio Yota did such an excellent job with the whole scene. I have a huge crush on Anime Yakko's design. Number 1. My absolute favorite moment in the whole reboot was Yakko rapping in the gift wrapper sketch. That sketch was just so cultured and modernized. In the episode, the Warners drop into a shooting for a music video for J-Pack, a rapper. Yakko goes in competition with him for J-Pack supposedly being a better wordsmith than Shakespeare. Yakko even teaches that rap doesn't need to diss people or even be as evil as an influence as it is today.
We don't need to boast or roast or talk smack or rap about women, bling, and record contracts. Be honest, be cool, and people will respect you. Those are the facts, dude.
Burn! As usual, let's end with some highlights that didn't quite make it to the top 10.
Thing is, our two big political parties just aren't fun anymore.
Floradora, floopity flew. One got the boot, now on to round 2. Floradora, floppity flong. She forced us to learn and practice the song.
Pinky, could you please parody something fresher and quieter?
You mean like ASMR? Don't these bubbles sound nice?
Exercise is an important part of a healthy lifestyle. Everyone can make time for just 15 minutes of exercise.
We're in real troubles. Here comes the sea.
reboot it, renew it, reshoot it, redo it and reuse it, retool it, abuse it, just do it. If you want to make some easy cash, just recycle and rehash.
You know, if I ate myself, would I become twice as big or would I completely disappear?
Error. Variable. E7. Undefined. Error. Pinky, you just infected him with the philosophical equivalent of dividing by zero.
When I go out there, I go out there. Not to be the best one, but to be out there, doing it the best.
Okay.
Why don't I work harder than anybody else? Because my heart is working smarter than anybody else.
That's...
What drives me to be driven? To work it out while being driven to either play the games or do the sports.
So you're not actually an athlete, you know nothing about sports.
That's correct. In all seriousness, folks, the internet can be a treacherous place. Be careful not to submit your personal information to third parties.
And there you have it. What are some of your favorite moments in the Animaniacs reboot? What other top 10s should I do? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, everyone.